All right, welcome back. We are coming off of that horrendously heartbreaking loss in Happy Valley to the Penn State Nittany Lions. And before we move on really quick, there's actually something I want to do here, and that is I'm going to change up who's the punt returner and the kick returner here, and that is we are going to put somebody with some actual speed. Shocker, you guessed it, my man Ernest Dixon, who has pretty much been the MVP of the team so far. Yep, so good old Ernest Dixon. He's going to do his thing. And now, we are going to move on to Week 5. And really get into this conference play. So we were 3-1, which is 75%. Should be 4-0, but we're not going to really concentrate too much on what we should have done. We can only deal with what has happened. And now we're going to move on to Buffalo here. I do believe we are at Buffalo, as it said there. So this should be a nice conference game in an opponent's stadium. So it's probably not going to be nearly as easy as the last 4 games were, even though the last game was not really easy at all. And really we've only had two actual outings that were not absolutely crazy back and forth games. So we'll see if Joe Howard and the boys can make this happen. As I said before, I'm really just psyched to see, what these new recruits are going to do, because the more I think about it, the more I am going to just take 25 people and cut 25 other people. I might not cut that many, but we're definitely going to be at 70 players. That's for damn sure, and we're trimming the fat. I don't care who was on the team. I don't give a shit at all. I don't care what their year is, senior, junior, sophomore, freshman, whatever it's gone. Oh, and hey, look at that. We got our first recruit, Antonio, and it looks like, hey, I think we filled our team needs. Yes, we did. Look at that. All right, already we're making headway. Well, that's great. That's more points. So for those of you who don't want to watch recruiting, go ahead and skip ahead to this timestamp. And for those of you who are sticking around for our master class in recruiting, we are going to move some more points around here. So we got a lot of people who are ready for visits now. And since this is one of the benefits of doing this kind of a style of recruiting, is that now that nobody else is really in the lead for these people, we really have an advantage in terms of actually being able to schedule whoever whenever we want them to be in the house, right? And sometimes you'll have it come down to the wire where if you're really going neck and neck with another team and they're really pushing you, and let's say they're one spot ahead of you. Like, for instance, as soon as I schedule these other visits, I'll show you with this defensive end up here, Lee Russell, right? So since Alabama isn't really offering him anything, apparently, again, I'm happy that apparently in this universe, Nick Saban has gone full potato. In this instance, they should already have their visits scheduled with him, right? And a lot of the times, the CPU will get the jump on you and will get an unfair advantage in being able to schedule, weeks in advance, like this, for instance, like this Jeremy Royal fella. We've been leading on him for a very long time. There's been nobody else at all that's been leading with him other than us. We've been in the pole position the entire time, but yet the people that are Syracuse and Buffalo here, somehow their visits were scheduled before, and that's because last week we were at like 49% or whatever. And in this instance, wait, what week is it? Is it week 6? So yeah, we're at week 6 right now. So with that said, we'll be at like 49%, and these other teams will come in here and they'll just say, hey, oh, guess what? We're going to get this visit scheduled before you do. And it's one of the strangest things that I've seen in this with this game and how it operates. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but I understand there's probably some sort of programming thing that's going on there. Either way, so moving on, we have 400 brand new points to spend. And since we're really moving the needle with these people, I'm gonna finagle and sort of maneuver here a couple of extra points to see if I can't make some more things happen. See if I can't free up maybe another 100 points somewhere. And notice how, again, like I was saying in the past weeks, like, see, we're putting 700 points in and we're getting 100 in the bonus, and absolutely nobody else is interested in this person, and there's nothing else happening right here, which is why they're all losing 800 points. Either that's not actually true. It looks like the University of Louisiana at Monroe down there, ULM, they are actually putting in some points, hence why they're only losing 600 as opposed to everybody else losing 800. And this is kind of how this works, right? You find these players, and look, I mean, nobody else is even trying to do anything with a lot of these players. It looks like Marshall has decided to jump in here on the Scott Mays fella, and that's cool. We're really kind of just casting out a wide net like this. This will probably be the only year of recruiting that actually ends up being like this, I will say. The rest of them, it looks like Chauncey Lindsay here is going to go to Nebraska potentially, because it looks like he's finally on their board. All right, so we'll still keep him on the list, no big deal. We'll see what's up with him. We are way stacked at wide receiver so far in terms of all the things that are going to potentially be coming in. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to take 100 points off of Pat Fry here, right? And I'm going to... Is he a Chico guy? Yes, he is. It's hard to remember some of these things like this, especially since, I played this yesterday. I've actually had some sleep. For you, it's the next episode. For me, it's been a couple hours, about 8, maybe 9 hours of sleep after being up for 16. So we're going to go for the best overall player here. And actually, you know what? We're, I think it's probably just better to try to get these guys committed as fast as possible. And sometimes that's the best strategy with some of these players, is to get them in the building and get them committed as quickly as possible before these other schools realize, hey, wait a minute. Especially since we have that guy off the board from the strong safety. Now that we have that taken care of, we can really afford to sort of just throw the weight around. So, all right. That's it for recruiting. If we lose any of these other dudes, fine, so be it. There'll be things that pop up later. Let's see who has the top class so far. Well, hey, we're 42nd. We're already doing okay. Who's got the #1 class so far? Oregon, Northwestern, USC, Texas A&M, and Tennessee. This will change drastically over the next couple of weeks, obviously, as more recruits come in. So with that said, we are done with recruiting. We're going to take a look at, well, actually, hold on. Before we take a look at Buffalo, let's look at the top 25 and see who's moved and shaken. Yeah, so, okay, Ohio State jumps up after Alabama wins, but they beat the dog shit out of Wisconsin there. So Ohio State takes over #1, Alabama 2, Oregon 3, Oklahoma 4. Texas, Washington, Michigan State, Nebraska, Maryland, and Texas A&M round out the top 10. Are we getting votes yet? We are not getting votes yet. Well, that sucks. Oh well. Let's see what the Heisman's looking like, shall we? Looks like Andre Ramirez is still in the lead there. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that guy, he's a damn good player. Check him out. Okay, before we move on, let's see what the conference standings look like, just to get a good picture of what's happening. Oh, look, we're finally in the lead. So, Northern Illinois, which makes a lot of sense. They're probably going to be the hardest team we play this year. It looks like Ball State is rather lowly. So we may not. I'm not sure. I don't even think they're on the schedule this year. Let me check really fast. If they're not on the schedule, I'm going to be kind of upset. Oh no, okay, we play them at home. We play Ball State at home week 14, so that we'll get our chance to get revenge against Ball State. So with that said, it looks like we're going to play Buffalo, who seems to have a slightly better overall than us. They are abysmal in terms of a statistical thing. They obviously have a better defense than we do, but that's not really saying much. So they look kind of inept just in terms of being all over the place, and it looks like they have a lot of injuries. So, hey, maybe this will be a nice and easy game, hopefully. So we'll see. Either way, let's get it started. I'm going to save it really quick. And then we're going to jump on in and travel to Buffalo. Which, if I'm not mistaken, they are the Bison. And they're not the Buffalo Buffaloes, which would be kind of funny, but, you know, hey, in a perfect world, they would be the Buffalo Buffaloes. They have an all-black uniform? No, they don't. That's fine. We'll give them the all-blues. We're definitely going to have the Blues after we beat the shit out of them. All right. Good enough, Jim. Let's get this started. All right, last year, if I remember correctly, last year when we did this, again, it's been quite some time since I played that last season. It's not really fresh in my mind. Last year when we did this, I do believe they gave us quite a game, and their quarterback just sort of ran all over the f***ing place. But they have quite a few injuries, and it looks like their top players are... Okay, they got a really good offensive guard. That's for damn sure, especially for the MAC. He's probably a senior. So I would like to take this opportunity to remind you that all of the artists that contributed music for free on the internet, ESCP, Punch Deck, Neon.Deflector, HurricaneTurtle, MONIN, people like that, Vlad M. Sorensen, you should go check out all of their pages. They are all fantastic. They have provided the music for every episode thus far, and they will continue to provide free music on this channel because they're awesome like that. Please go follow them and like them. Anyway, with that said, I'd also like to take this opportunity to remind you that if you want to hear me say words like because I'm probably going to say those words as this game goes along, as the defense doesn't really play up to task, you got to go to Rumble to get the unedited version. Otherwise, when I say you're going to hear those beeps. But for those of you on Rumble, you get to hear all of the words, because Rumble's a real video platform that actually lets people say what they want. What a novel concept. Anyway, let's get this thing started, shall we? They have won the toss and decided to kick. So, we'll take the ball first. My man Ernest, let's see what he can do. It's a good kick. One of their best players is a kicker, so. Great return. Yep, he's got 79 catches already through 4 games, which is pretty insane. That's the wrong formation. So, you guessed it. Tray open offset. The best formation. Or at least, arguably. right off the bat. And hey, they covered the tight end there. I'll give them credit. Usually that's not how that works. But we'll see how it goes. It's a solid run by George. And hey, look at that. George Frederic is back from the injury. And one of the tougher things about this season, and I'm really actually kind of surprised it hasn't happened already, is that these guys have really low injury ratings. So a lot of them will, go down rather easily. Good, nice 8-yard catch for Lance Peterson there. He's doing big things. I will kick him out in 5 seconds if I actually had a good tight end, but hey, it is what it is. We'll take it while we can get it. Wow, really? Huh. Maybe that is 3rd and inches. But, next year, we got a hell of a lot of good recruits coming in. I would say if we get all the people we want to get in this next recruiting class, top 20 at least top 25, like at bare minimum, I think, for the class ranking. We'll definitely have the best class in the MAC. That's for goddamn sure. Because can't nobody in the MAC recruit like me. Because they're all CPU. Dummies. Not regular, just regular dummies, but dumb dummies. Oh, good right there on their defense. That was a good play for them. All right. Let's see. They're playing pretty good defense so far, and this is exactly what you expect from these conference teams, right? Because, again, the AI is just so much better when you're playing a conference team. And, like I said, I think in one of the other episodes, it makes a lot of sense because, these are teams that are going to face you year in and year out. So usually a lot of teams have a goal in college football, or even in just any kind of football, whether it be high school, college, or the pros. They want to win their conference, right? It's always a goal of theirs, and that was just a pass. Sometimes the CPU is just like, derp, let me throw it 700 yards in the air over top of his head, even though he's wide open. But like I said, a lot of these teams have a goal in real life to win their conference. So, as a result, they really study their conference opponents. And this game simulates that by making it very hard to play a conference team. And especially if that team's a rival, it's the same kind of thing, right? That's your rival. You want to make sure you beat that team. You don't want that team to beat you. Bragging rights are on the line. Ooh, god damn it. Come on. I think I'm gonna take the points here. I'm feeling dangerous. It's a new day. We're not playing Penn State. Atta boy, George. Alright. See if we can't get another run here. Because they're probably, I don't really know how the CPU calculates the odds of, what sort of play it picks. I think it has a lot to do with that coach philosophy thing. And whoever the coach of the team is has a different philosophy, and I think that has a lot to do with it in terms of exactly what plays they're picking or what plays they're not picking. And I really wonder also if the offense we run has a lot to do with it as well. And my man Gay made up for it right there. Big Nick. We got the big Gay on our team. He is a large human. Look at him. Wearing number 60 at tight end. But anyway, I think that the CPU definitely reads your plays, especially on Heisman. So pretty much anything you pick. Ooh, look at Oklahoma. But anything you pick, they're going to know right off the bat. So if it's a run, they're going to have blitz called. Or if it's a pass, they're going to have, you know, like a passing defense play called. All right, well, another successful drive. We're going to see just how bad it is on defense this day. So again, this is a conference team, so we're probably going to get our brains beat in. And at least, I guess at least we can have some solace in the fact that we have a good offense that pretty much can score on anybody at any given time. Oh, come the f*** on. Man, what's it like to have people that tackle? Yeah, let's go. Already it starts. God damn it, man, this defense. I can't wait to get those 4 or 5 new defensive linemen. God damn it. Hooray. All right, well, we're back on offense 1 play later. It looks like Peterson might be hurt, too. I haven't seen him. So that's going to be a big loss. Way to hold on to it, Nick. Fairly decent little 3-yard run. All right, let's see if we can get him to the first down here. I'm feeling frisky, and I think we should just run this ball. Yep. Good call. It's a 10-yard run for George. He might actually get something done. And it starts. Ernest gets his first catch. Which makes me think of all those Jim Varney Ernest movies. Still remember watching Ernest Scared Stupid when I was younger. Which, you know, is a ridiculous movie. Pretty much all the Ernest movies are silly. Solid run for Eric Smith. He really stepped up in that last game against Penn State. It's a damn shame we've lost. George is putting in some work now, huh? They just keep thinking that we're going to pass. Weird. I wonder whatever could have given them that idea. And see, I almost guarantee that guy that's right over top of Dixon right there is going to blitz. I was wrong, but that's okay. Because Ernest still got in there and got him some open space, and we threw the ball right to him. In this very strange offense here. I don't think even in college now, there might be some similar offenses out there with some crazy madman running it, where the main receiver, the most important receiver in any formation, lines up as a flanker off to the right side like that, on the offensive line's right side. It's really kind of weird. I'm sure there's something out there. I'm sure there's some like Division 2 or 3 school or some shit like that. Great catch, Ernest. But like I said, I'm sure there's some Division 2 or Division 3 school or some shit that does some old crazy bullshit like that. Another solid outing on offense. Now hopefully we can actually stop them on defense. Hooray. I guess they're both in the MAC, which is why this matters. But those are both terrible teams. I'm not sure. I think Eastern Michigan might be the Eagles or something like that. But I know that Central Michigan are the Chippewas. Alright, well here we f***ing go. At this point, I'm just going to try to watch the run and see if I can actually... Yep, I was right. Holy sh**. Look at that. 2 rushes for like, I don't know, what was it? 80-something yards on that first run? Like, yeah, 73. So we're just going to spy this running back or highlight this running back every single time. I'm not really sure what their offensive identity is. I really am not. I don't really know. If I had to guess, I would say it's, you know, probably a run first kind of team. Well, they still got the first down, but I mean, hey, it wasn't a 75-yard run. So, silver linings. Great tackle. God damn it. Wow. Oh, he dropped it. Holy sh**. Damn. That was a weird play. Thank God he dropped it. That was like a fucking touchdown if that dude catches that sh**. Lucky us. Great tackle. Now, see, what we need to do here is get this stop. Man, I think he stepped out of bounds. We're gonna challenge that. I think he stepped out. Maybe not. Oh, shit, we got it. No, I guess reversed. I'm not sure. I guess at least it was less of a gain. I figured he was out of bounds before then. But whatever. Always great when the guy that we're quite literally spying and paying attention the most to absolutely just gets free and runs for all these goddamn yards. But hey, that's a TFL. Attaboy, Kenny. Getting in there and doing the real work. This is another instance where, like, I don't really give a shit what they're running for wide receivers. Yeah, oh, come on. Yeah. We'll take it. Good defense. I would have liked to get the sack, but that's all right. Holding them to a field goal is definitely a plus, especially after that 75-yard touchdown run to start the game for them. Yeah, all right. There's like nobody here, too. There are more people in my apartment complex than there are at this stadium. That's really not saying much. Ernest Dixon might win the Heisman. Just kidding. I highly, highly doubt that. But yep, now we're back on offense. We can just take it nice and slow. Read these defenses that they keep showing us. Theoretically score some more points. Attaboy, Phil. I'm sure. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it in the final cut of this, but I feel like if you're really listening to me play this game, I just beat the shit out of my controllers. Yeah, big old gain. At least for us, anyway. Wow, he was free really quickly. They definitely don't have that same quarterback that they had last year. And if I'm mistaken, I might be mistaken because I don't necessarily remember, but I'm pretty sure that quarterback they had last year was like a runner, and it was more of an offense kind of thing, or rather a scrambler he was. And then they had more of an option kind of thing going on where, you know, it was really hard to get a hold of who was actually going to run the ball. And if I'm not mistaken, he just ran all over us. So a solid run. Had some good production so far. Attaboy Marvin. He's been solid, even though he's a player and a senior who's like a 70-something. But it doesn't really matter. The overall doesn't matter. It's all about what you produce at, what the level that your production rises to in the game that we're playing. That's what matters the most. Ooh-wee, that was the wrong read for me. Oh well. Happens like that sometimes. Good catch, Ronnie. So let's see if we can catch him sleeping. I don't think so. I think that... Yeah. We are scoring many touchdowns. In the University of Massachusetts, we are scoring many touchdowns. Suddenly I'm Russian. You are liking to play the football? All right, we're up 21-10. So, thankfully, we got a little bit ahead of them in terms of, you know, they scored a touchdown, or they scored a touchdown and then a field goal, and then we scored 3 touchdowns. So, thankfully, we're doing what we gotta do. And, you know, whatever, every now and then you're gonna have a play like that where it's f***ing 4 wide receivers and they do an option play. What are you gonna f***ing do? Yeah, get on the ground. Sometimes it's almost better. You might wonder, oh, whoa, well, why did you just dive at his feet like that? And like I was saying in a previous installment, a lot of the time, so the CPU really just cannot use the stick, apparently, at all. While as a runner, they can't juke and stuff like that. They can only just stiff arm you and sort of run through a tackle and activate the trucking ability as you're trying to hit them. So it's a hell of a lot better to just sort of dive at their feet, dive at the quarterback's feet, and then take him out there, so he has to trip over you since they can't actually use the stick. Or at least they can't activate the stick's functions, which seems like a programming oversight. But, you know, maybe, what do I know about the programming? Yeah, attaboy, Steve. Steve Rogers. Interesting formation. Well, we had him. I just had to pick a blitz, and of course, as always, again, nobody knows how to tackle. This is what I mean. Like, notice how all the tackles that they break are like power run moves, right? It's always the stiff arm or always the trucking. Am I gonna snap this ball, or? Oh, we're gonna get a delay a game here. Look, I believe this is a glitch. Wow. Well, feast your eyes, folks. CPU delay a game. I guess it can happen. Huh. Hell yeah, we're accepting that. Why wouldn't I accept a delay of game penalty? That's fucking weird. I'm sure there might be some instance or something, sometime, somewhere. I wonder why they did that. That was odd. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that in all the years I've been playing this game. Yeah, Javon, get on the ground. They're just going backwards now. It is. Got him that time, though. We were waiting for it. That's right, Javon. How you like getting smacked in the backfield, huh? And again, if you'd like to hear this without the beeps, go to Rumble. You should just go to Rumble anyway. It's just an objectively better platform. Give me that. Even better. Look at the defense, huh? Stepping up, Jeff Perry with an interception. You gotta love it. All right, well, now we got a minute 16. See if we can't traipse down the field and score some points. Atta boy. Pretty wild. They're just handing these free releases out like candy at Halloween. Take a timeout here. And it looks like David Eck should probably take a timeout from the cheeseburgers, but he's living his best life, I suppose. Let's see if they're dumb enough to give me single high safety. They are not. This is definitely a conference game where they're not really going to do the stupid thing. Except for leave Dixon open like that. Oh man, Ernest. Ernest catches a touchdown. That's what Ernest movie we're watching right now. Ernest plays wide receiver. Ready for it? Oh, so close. Almost called it, but that's back-to-back 20-yard catches right there. You gotta love it, you do. Nice catch, Ronnie. Look at that. Points on the board before halftime, huh? 28-10 before halftime. See, this is what it's like when we play a team that sees all around on the actual ratings instead of a team like Penn State, which was obviously a better team. And even this team is marginally better than we are, but you know, not by much. And this is what it's like to play on Heisman, specifically with these sliders. These sliders really have the differences ironed out like this. And the only reason that I'm able to play above my rating with teams like this is because of the scheme. And also there are certain cheese plays, certain money things I'm doing, like reading the defense like I am here and audibling in and out. A lot of people would call that cheese and like that, but all I got to say to that is, like, those are the same people that think that you're cheating if you try to save scum when you play XCOM. And all I got to say to that is shut the f up, man. The people who created XCOM hate you. It's the same thing as the people who created Dark Souls. And that Miyazaki guy, he hates you. He wants you to suffer. And that's part of the fun of those games. You can't really save scum in Dark Souls, but it's the same kind of thing, right? Like, if I'm playing on a super high difficulty level, I'm gonna do what I can and play smart, play a much more intelligent brand of football. And it looks like in this instance, I'm over here, you know, hyping it up, and we're about to give up another touchdown before halftime. Come on. 3 people had their goddamn hands on him in the backfield. Couldn't take him down. It is bullshit. There were 2 people there. God damn it. Well, there we go. That's what it's like when you don't have a defense. 27 seconds, huh? Jesus Christ. Well, that's definitely not good. And I was trying to play the pass the entire time that time. I'm just for the sake of time gonna let that bounce in. Alright, let's see what we can do. See if they're dumb enough to give me single high safety. And they are. Alright, and it looks like they have finally backed off of the single high safety thing. But they're just handing out free completions over here. Passing them out like condoms at a music festival. Oh, really? I'm gonna kick this field goal. Hopefully we can make it. Oh, no. Damn. Didn't have enough leg. Well, at least we're up by 11. At least there's that. I hate having to kick the ball off to them after having a turn of events like that go down. Yeah, well, they figured out what works, huh? So what we're gonna do is this right here. Somebody tackle somebody, for the love of God. This is going to be another shootout, it looks like. Welcome to conference play. Yeah. Hell yeah. We really, really needed that. That was disastrous. Alright. Kind of sucks that my tight end apparently is injured. I don't, maybe I missed the update on that. Yeah, good play call. That tight end stick, man, that's that money. I guess that's one of those money plays. How dare you use something that works? Shit always cracks me up, right? Like, you want people want realism and things like that in their video games. I understand that. That makes sense, you know. There's a certain level of that in real life too, you know. But really, anybody with a brain that's a coach, if they see something that works, they're going to keep doing that. And especially in the pros, that's exactly how that works, right? If a team figures out, oh, this is what you guys can't stop, this is what we can continue to win on, they're going to continue to do that thing until you stop it. And if you don't like it, you should learn how to stop it. Whereas in college football, it's not always quite like that. Usually in college football, teams really just kind of do what they do, and adjustments, unless it's a really good team that has a really good coach, usually then if they're like an SEC team or something like that, then the adjustments will come and these people will, oh, look at Marvin putting the razzle dazzle on him. But anyway, the adjustments will come, and then they'll actually, they'll finagle things and make adjustments and sort of tweak what they need to tweak to really look around and see where they can win. But those, again, are like SEC teams, Big Ten teams, some Pac-12 teams, some Big 12 teams, those major Power 5 conferences, as they're called. They'll do that kind of stuff. And that's because they're NFL quality, basically, or at least NFL light, kind of like the XFL or the USFL. And really, I would say, like, pretty much everybody that's on the roster at Alabama right now that's halfway decent could start in the USFL or the XFL. Maybe the same thing with, like, an Ohio State or, like, a USC, teams like that. And that's why those guys get drafted, which, by the way, at the time of this recording, the NFL draft is tomorrow, the 2023 NFL draft. And I am rather excited to see who goes where. Technically speaking, my team isn't picking until, I think, the 3rd round or whatever, so I don't necessarily care too much about that. I'm excited to see who they pick up because, those of you who are familiar with us and familiar with the channel, they know you all know I'm a Browns fan. And it's really weird as a Browns fan to not be worried about who exactly they're picking, or not to have to have a no first round pick like this. But they've done what they can, and they've suffered through a bunch of crazy stuff just to try to get a franchise quarterback. I won't necessarily go into Deshaun Watson's like reputation and things like that. I think that there's a lot of weird stuff going on with that. I don't really know what to make of all of it, because I do know the Texans hate him. Oh, no. Oh, thank God he didn't get it far enough. But I know the Texans hate him. There's a lot of weirdness going on there. I really don't know that I don't know. But what I'll tell you this much is that if a grand jury wants to indict somebody and they think that they can get you on charges, they will definitely do it. And Deshaun Watson was not indicted by 2 different grand juries, so doesn't mean he didn't do it, but I would say that's a damn good indicator that the authorities involved didn't think it was worth pressing any charges or going forward. But anyway, like I said, the Browns aren't picking until like the 3rd round. And Andrew Berry has done so many different things to try to make the roster better. And I respect that, and it's nice as a Browns fan to actually have hope, which I can only imagine is probably like if the UMass Minutemen were coached by this particular organization that I'm running right now, it would be a hell of a lot more hopeful than it had been before. Because if I'm not mistaken, 2013 was the very first year that they were in the Division I delineation of college football programs. They were actually moved up from Division II, which they were in for a very long time until that point. And, again, I can only imagine what it would have been like for anybody who's a UMass fan, which I don't really know. I know that, that area of the country, obviously a lot of big Patriots fans from back when Tom was doing his thing up there. And I'm sure a lot of those people like UMass, because a lot of the time when you're in these communities like that, a lot of people will like the teams that are near them, especially if those teams are winning. And since we've had a very contemporary kind of track record of success for the Patriots under Belichick and Brady, it makes a lot of sense that a lot of those people there would like that team. Whereas if you're in Ohio right now, you're probably a Bengals fan. But I would say that if you're a true Ohio football fan, you're actually a Browns fan. And obviously you like Ohio State. But, you know, there's a weirdly large contingent of Steelers fans in Ohio. And like I said, it's because of that winning thing. The Steelers have a load of Super Bowls, and, you know, they generally do good, and they generally beat or rather do well, and they generally beat the shit out of a lot of teams that are in Ohio. So people like winners. We're kind of programmed to. So it makes sense that people like the Steelers here. It's awfully close. Pittsburgh is in Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania is just a little ways south of Ohio. So what are you going to do? Can't say I blame them. Anyway, we're moving it really well right now. And we are really kind of making some headway down this field. And this offense is humming. Which is great. You love to see it. Off of that interception, too. And I'm really kind of worried about Peterson. I haven't seen him since the beginning of the game. It's all right. We got big old Nick Gay. He's going to catch another touchdown pass. Ooh, those two interceptions in this game. You know what? For the defense, giving up a 70-plus yard touchdown run right off the bat like that, they really bounced back well. I'll give it to them. Attaboy Nick. Catching touchdowns out here. And I mean, man, I can't wait to see how many touchdown passes I throw toward the end, because I'm not sure. I mean, maybe 5, I think, was the lowest I've had in a game so far, and we're at game 5. Yeah, look at that. 54 plays, 434 yards. Oh, boy, here we go with it again. So I'm going to try to get some sacks with my man Juan. The only one. Well, yeah, not much we can do. They're going to run the hurry up? Yes, they are. So they seem like a tempo offense, right? Which is kind of strange. Oh, come on, Davis. Got to get that, boy. Yep, so they're running it. For sure, they're running it right now. So we'll go with the split. And you guessed it, Monster Green. Oh, come on, man. We had him, too. That's all right. Look at that. Javon Palmer. Greatest running back to ever live, apparently. Thankfully, he missed. And it's kind of crazy. I mean, you go back and look at that first episode, you'll see the sliders. It still kind of blows my mind when they airmail passes like that. But I think it just happens sometimes, like with quarterbacks that have accuracy ratings that are as low as these. I really think it just happens because, I mean, there was that one pass earlier where Joe just airmailed that. Even though, wow, that was egregious. I would cut that player if he dropped that pass like that. But anyway, there was that pass earlier where Joe Howard just airmailed it, and it, you know, it obviously wasn't going anywhere near the guy, even though he was open, and it was an easy throw. Nice. I'm not sure who sacked him. It looks like the turf monster got him. Oh, he's so upset. So hold on. Hold the phone. I want to see how that happened right there. Yeah, he got sacked by his own offensive lineman, or 81. Yeah, he's tripped up. Hell yeah, I wonder if Juan Parrish got the credit for that sack. While we're in here, I want to check the injury report. Let's see what's up with Peterson. Mild concussion. Well, hopefully he doesn't have a scrambled brain. Either way, another great defensive series. Holy shit, did we get lucky right there. Big shout out to 81 that plays for the Colorado Buffalo. The Buffalo Bison, I should say. We played Colorado earlier. Big shout out to number 81. Thanks for that, bruh. Appreciate it. Yeah, big number 11. That's right. Look at that. 32 of 35. Been lighting it up this game. Are you ready for it? I wasn't. I totally thought that Nick Gay would be open, but that's okay. This is the cool thing about this particular play, is that it's really well designed in terms of, you know, what routes, or rather what coverages it will defeat with the routes that are used. So like right now, since there's nobody directly over Gay, that's basically the read, right? If there's nobody over top of that particular person, probably stands to reason that he's going to be open, right? But in that case, they rotated, and that was probably like a cover 3 kind of a thing, where they're rotating more toward the middle of the field and a little bit further back. So the underneath route on the back side over there was left, and that was definitely like a blitz too. So see, since nobody's directly over the top of him, number one, he's going to get a free release. So unless they're rotating into a zone like they did there, he's going to be open. But see, since that other route on the left hand over there on the X position, which is what that's called, since the X route over there, and that's sort of coincidental that it's also the X button, the X is running that like breaking in route where it ends up being that beats cover 2, whereas cover 2 would beat the other 2 lower routes, and Dixon, if I could get a hole shot is what they call it, that would beat cover 2 as well. But it looks like they're just leaving that backside curl. It's like a slant curl, kinda. I'm not really sure what the name of that route is. Somebody with greater football knowledge than I could tell you. Like maybe somebody like Kurt Warner. And by the way, Kurt Warner has a fantastic YouTube channel. If you want to learn about things like this, Kurt Warner is really a really skilled person when it comes to actually breaking down film. He's very analytical, and he has this great understanding of coverages and route concepts, and how the route concepts stack up with one another to defeat those coverages. It's actually one of my favorite YouTube channels. I really enjoy watching him break things down. Great run for Georges Frederic. It's another solid day. Should probably gonna run it a little bit more. Now that we're in the 4th here, we're up by 42. We're gonna start taking it a little slower. Wait till it gets to about 9. go. Another 100 yards on the ground for the boys. Another solid performance. Actually, what we're going to do here, try to get my man Dixon another touchdown. Another 6 points. So it looks as if, and that's also a mismatch too. I think they're in like a 3-4 kind of a thing right now, like schematically from like a formation perspective. They are not set up to be defending this kind of a play, which is why he's wide open and why that works so well so often. And that's the read. That's exactly how you run this offense. Those of you at home want to try this, you could easily do it. But see, look, you see how they have, what is that, 2, 4, 6, 8 people in the box? There's only 3 people on the boundaries to cover 4. And as you can see, they didn't cover him. And now that's 7 touchdowns. Oh, that's the game. Okay, cool. Or the record. Hell yeah. Chucking touchdowns all f***ing day. You are like to be scoring touchdown. Passing to touchdown score you are. Suddenly this is Russian Yoda. In Soviet Russia, force uses you. Yeah, alright, well these turnovers really helped out a lot. Defense really stepped up when it needed to. Really shaky to start off with, but we figured it out. And now we're so far ahead that I don't know, I don't want to jinx anything. I've seen some absolute crazy happen in this game. But at the same time, it's going to be really hard for them to come back. Especially if they score again and I get the ball back. Because if I get the ball back, which, I mean, I guess there's like 6 minutes left in the fourth here. When I get the ball back, rather, I'm just going to bleed that clock out and continue the cutting process. And that quarterback got whacked. But this defense is really rather simple. It's all about manning up, and really it's a matchup style defense. I prefer it simply because a lot of the time in these college formations they'll use 3 wide receivers. And, you know, as in the 3-3-5, you get to basically mix and match with 3 safeties. And I think that safety is a better option than corner because they're generally better at tackling. Oh, come on. Oh, he fumbled it. Oh, we got it back. Hell yeah. I'm not sure, man. I'm not really sure if that was a real fumble or not. I don't really care. I think one of the reasons why they're throwing us through the highlights right now is to give the CPU a little bit more time to deal with it. So I'm not sure how this is going to work out. Works out really well. Attaboy, Ernest. 24. What's he up to now? Almost 200 yards. He's definitely gonna lead the NCAA in receiving. I mean, he already has been, but it is what it is. We're gonna obviously lead the entire country in passing offense. Shout out to Mike Leach. Rest in peace, Mike Leach. One of the greatest innovators in all of football. and one of the funniest dudes to ever live. Rather sad, his passing. Quick and seemingly out of nowhere it just happened. Like, I think that they had just won a game, and he had Mississippi State rolling down there, which is a damn shame, because Mike Leach actually being able to recruit SEC players and to get those kids to execute that legendary offense, man, it would have been something special down there if he could have kept it together. But thus is life, man. His legacy really lives on. This air raid concept, this stick concept, this offense right here, it's basically his idea. Good blocking, boys. Another solid 6-yard run for Jouters. Like I said, we're just going to run this clock down and bleed it to death, but Mike Leach definitely was the biggest, if not creator, he definitely popularized what is known as the air raid offense, and this is an air raid offense. So without Mike Leach, there would be no offense just like this. Oh no, we ain't calling a timeout. It's another solid run. And you guessed it. Halfback ISO. You know what? I think we're going to actually pass it this time, because I do believe that linebacker right there, I think he's blitzing. I was wrong. That's okay, though, because he didn't cover correctly. My man Phil got him another one. Well, I think... Yep, I'm going to sneeze. Whew. Well, if I wasn't awake, I am now. And depending upon how loud that sneeze was, I might mute that. We'll see. First down. Yep, I'm going to bleed that clock all the way down. And what's really kind of crazy is the CPU, right? The simulations, the stats. Defensively, in my opinion, the stats don't end up actually being accurate to what they would be like in real life. However, anybody that plays us is definitely, most of the team, if anybody plays us twice, they're going to have a couple of players that lead the NCAA in tackles. And that's just because we run so many plays, and we actually have, you know, the time to do it instead of playing like 4-minute quarters and shit like that. But if I'm not mistaken, too, the other game, the last season we played, I think I was doing straight up 10-minute quarters. And as you can see here, it's a little less than that. We're gonna audible it up here real quick. Try to get some more catches, a couple more completions here and there for the boys. Ugh. Do it behind him. Oh, well, the clock stops. We get some more. Maybe another shot here. See if we can't get Ronnie King another touchdown. And notice how, I mean, they're really playing it smart. They're not trying to man up and actually play like press coverage. Oh, he wasn't aware. He was not paying attention. But they're really not trying to play like press coverage or things like that, and that's the move. That's a smart idea on their part. That's for goddamn sure. Because if they were, I would I would just, you know, streak and have Sanders run the streak right there. Almost got that first down. We're going to go for it. We're going for it. And that's wild. I picked a different play. Holy shit. Isn't that crazy? It is possible. Yeah. Call it 8 touchdown passes, motherfucker. Yeah, son. You gotta love it. 56-17. We f***ing shellacked them. We walked into their house, punched them in the face, went in their fridge, made a sandwich, grabbed a beer, sat down, and started eating on top of their currently unconscious body. We used them as a chair after that. We just said, I live here now. All right. Getting a little water. By the way, stay hydrated out there. Don't forget to drink water. Water is very, very important. Yeah, cool. Run that clock down. Awesome. Great tackle. Doesn't really matter either in terms of what's going on. I mean, 20-28 is pretty goddamn good for them. It's just a shame that they had those turnovers. Yay, TikTok, TikTok. I'm not talking about the stupid video platform either. Quite sure how that happened, but you know, whatever. Once Parrish gets better, and once we get better defensive linemen, those screens might turn into interceptions. But isn't it great? Isn't it awesome how all of these quarterbacks are just incredible? Somehow they're all just NFL caliber in terms of like reading defenses and just being able to figure out and just being able to get it off in time and always making the perfect read to just walk down the field like this. You gotta love it. If I wasn't up 56-17, I'd be really pissed off right now at how inept my defense was. And I think it's in the case of Heisman, it's just Heisman on these sliders, I should say. It's not necessarily a case of inept defense. It's really just incredibly amazing, over-the-top offensive production. Like these players just play out of their goddamn mind. And look, oh, if it isn't the old 4 wide receiver, run it out of the backfield really quick trick. Fun. Might be a screen though. No, it's definitely a run. Mother. God damn it. I told you though, I called it, right? And see, if he tackles him, that's obviously play over. But of course the computer knows that they can just run through any arm tackle. No big deal. Like I said, whatever. I don't care. I'm winning. I've won this game by 32 points. So what? Nice bullshit garbage time touchdown, Buffalo. going for the onside, which is really kind of stupid. It's really just kind of dumb for them to try to go for the onside kick. What are you going to do, score 32 points in 3 seconds? No way is that ever going to happen. So let's see if they're stupid enough to do single high safety. Luckily for them, they're not. But they are doing press coverage, which was a mistake. Well, luckily for them, he couldn't hang on. Or rather, I should say, luckily for them, they can hit that hard on Heisman. So who was the player of the game, huh? .44 of 50, 471 with 8 touchdown passes. Kinda scary to think about what this team's gonna be like when I have better players. Because this is a conference game. And by all rights, they should have dump trucked us. But they didn't. It was a good game in the beginning, you know. I'm really kind of shocked that, we kept them under 300 passing yards. I guess. Yeah. So let's check out the stats really quick, shall we? So 88% completion percentage, so 44 of 50, I think that is 88%. 8 touchdowns, 471 yards. George Frederick had 104 on 24 rushes. Eric Smith had 3 for 19. Oh, Ernest, 14 catches, 199 yards, 2 touchdowns, 9 for 73 for Philip Johnson, 8 for 78 for Ronnie King with 2 touchdowns. Nick Gay caught 4 passes, 27 yards, 3 of them touchdowns. Lance Peterson, 3 for 32. Marvin Green, 3 for 40 in the touchdown. Dante Sanders, 2 catches for 19, and George Frederick, 1 for 3. Defensively, we had 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 tackles for loss. My man Juan got him a sack in there. 2 interceptions, Rodney and Jeff, and we had 1 fumble recovery, and it looks like Steve forced it. So, you know, we're playing pretty damn good. So we'll take a quick little look at the team stats here. So they had 410 yards of total offense, right? Not shocked to our 594. They ran 20 rushes, 197 for 2 touchdowns. We had 27 for 123. Obviously, we were 44 of 50 for 8 tuds. They were 23 of 32 for 1, 471 to 213. We were 7 for 9 on third. They were 6 for 10. We were 2 for 2 on fourth. We were no 2-point conversions attempted. We had 100% red zone efficiency, 7 for 7 on touchdowns. And they turned it over 3 times. Obviously, there you go. That's the difference in the game. And clearly, as usual, we dominate in time of possession. But this was the difference. If they didn't have those turnovers, we didn't get those 2 interceptions and that forced fumble and the recovery, maybe we don't win that game. So, you know, hey, we might give up a lot of yards, but we get timely turnovers. And timely turnovers, that's how you win games right there, as evidenced by this game. So look at Maryland, huh? The Terps are ranked 9th overall, and they beat Florida State. That's kind of crazy. That blows my mind. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week. First conference game equals our first conference win, which is always nice to have. With that said, we will see you all next week. Remember to like and subscribe. And again, if you want to hear this uncensored, you want to hear me say and things like that, go watch us on Rumble. Subscribe there as well. Anything helps. Also, if you like this, please join our locals channel. We might put you in the game if you do that. We might actually increase player stats too if you do that. $3 tier or $20 tier, hook it up. We would love to have you as a member. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.